Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 55 of Easy SEO and More Podcast. Today, I'm going to continue on the top 10 questions I've gotten in 2021 about search engine optimization. And the answer to each of these questions is going to help you throughout 2022. So it's going to help you right now. Now, today, I'm going to go through all 5 of the top 10 questions because next week, I've got special guest Terry Begue. Terry Begue was a painter that quickly realized that he could not grow his painting business without marketing. So he shares with us some of the things that he learned as well as the book that he wrote about what he learned. So I hope you'll join with me next week for that. This week, we've got the last 5 of the top 10 questions I get about search engine optimization. I'm starting with number 6. Somebody asked me this, and I found it kind of interesting because I actually got this question quite a lot. I keep hearing about this new thing called link juice, and it's the only way to get my website higher in the search engines. Is that true? I've heard the same thing from other, quote, SEO experts, and the simple and quick answer is, of course, no, it is not true at all. Link juice is just a new way of saying backlinks. And backlinks have been around as long as websites have been around. It's nothing new. That doesn't mean they're not effective. Backlinks are one of the best ways to get higher in the search engines, but it's definitely not the only way. And we work on creating backlinks for our clients every single month. That's how important that it is. But it's not the only way to do it. Number 7, I'm just starting out and I don't have the budget to hire someone. Can I do SEO myself? Of course you can. If you go to portbelldigitalacademy.com, you can actually learn how to do SEO yourself. Or we have a brand new DIY SEO training that we did where we go in and do all the really techy stuff for your website. And then at the same time, we teach you how to do the less techy stuff yourself for companies that simply can't afford to hire someone right now. 70% of the SEO on a website you can do yourself. So go to my website, go to portbell.com, click on the banner at the top. That'll get you more information about the DIY SEO training that we have. Or if you would rather do it completely on your own, you can go to portbelldigitalacademy.com and start learning about it more yourself right now. Those aren't the only places, of course, to go. That's just a couple of different options. Number 8, you've talked about local SEO a lot, but I sell products all around the world. Why would I want to limit myself with local SEO? And thank you for that question. I got that question probably more than anything else because I do push local SEO quite a lot. Google is pushing local SEO as well. But here's the reason why you want to do local SEO. Let's say that you sell Nike shoes in Seattle, Washington. And so you say Seattle Nike shoe sales. I don't know if that's the right or best keywords or not, but let's use that as an example. See, Google is going to see Seattle Nike shoe sales. Google's also going to see Nike shoe sales. So when you do local SEO, you're automatically doing the national search engine optimization or the national marketing at the same time. That's why I say I push the local stuff because the search engines are going to see both at once. Why not get it all done at one time? Number 9. A friend of mine keeps telling me that I have to be on social media if I want to get customers. Is that true? I know people on social media that have become multimillionaires, huge influencers. Social media has made major changes in this industry. But for the average business, I don't see social media being a huge game changer. For most businesses, I was just talking with someone a few days ago, and they said that they'd just gotten a new customer from social media specifically. And I asked them, so how many customers do you get on average? After thinking about it for a bit, they realized that was the only customer they had ever gotten from their social media profile. So it can help, but put it in the order of how important it is, or what your ROI, your return on investment is. You don't want to be spending 40 hours a week doing social media if it only nets one customer every 6 months. Yeah, you can get more exposure and it helps with your brand on social media a little bit, but it won't necessarily help you get customers. Look at your return on investment. If social media is getting you customers, great. Now, if you don't know if it's going to help, yeah, try it. Do it. It's another marketing avenue. We're on LinkedIn and Facebook, and we do a couple of other social media outlets. But we only do a certain amount of time every week on those, because the number of people that we get ourselves off social media is way less than we get from people from this podcast, from our website, and things like that. We've seen what gives us our best results, and we concentrate on those the most. Number 9. A friend of mine I already did number 9. Let's try that again. We're at number 10 already. Good. I was afraid that this was going to take a lot longer than it is today. I wanted to get through this because I wanted to have next week just for Terry Begue. So number 10, how long does it take to see results once I start having someone do SEO for me? That is another, these of course are all the top 10 questions I got last year. That was another really big one because it does take time. SEO work, search engine optimization, is not a do it and see it thing. The work I do today could take 3, 6, or even 12 months before the search engines recognize it and do something with it. It all depends on the competition and of that particular keyword. For instance, if you have, there's one specific keyword that I'm thinking of, and that's DUI, unfortunately. It is actually one of the most competitive keywords in the entire country, especially around the holidays, which we just got through. And so these companies are trying to be on page 1. And even in the town that I'm in, there's probably 30 to 35 DUI attorneys. Well, 35 DUI attorneys are not going to be able to get into the top 10 slots, but they're all going to be trying to. So it all depends on how competitive the keyword is. I worked with one company that literally has 3 competitors in the entire Pacific Northwest. They got onto page 1 in 3 weeks. That's not normal. 3 to 6 months is the average, but if it's a really competitive keyword, it may take a year. Hey everybody, thank you for listening and watching this episode of Easy SEO and More. I'll talk to you next week with Terry Begue.